Welcome to Nourished and Ready, the podcast about nourishing your body before, during, and after pregnancy. I'm Maya, and with me, as always, is Sara. Let's get into it.
Quick question for anyone listening with a partner. Have you actually talked to them about their nutrition? I'm guessing the honest answer for most people is not really, because the entire preconception health conversation tends to center on the woman, what she's eating, what supplements she's taking, how her cycles look, and the partner is often off to the side, maybe handed a generic multivitamin.
The research, though, tells a very different story. Partner nutrition has a significant and direct effect on conception rates, on pregnancy outcomes, and on the long-term health of the child. This is genuinely a joint project.
Today we're talking about why, and I think this episode will surprise a lot of people.
Let's start with the biology. Sperm quality is determined by 4 key factors: count, how many sperm per milliliter of semen; motility, how well they move; morphology, their shape and structure; and DNA integrity, how undamaged the genetic material inside them is. All 4 of these factors are significantly and directly influenced by nutrition. And here's the timing piece that mirrors what we discussed about eggs in episode 1. Sperm are produced continuously, about 1,500 every second, but the full maturation cycle takes approximately 72 to 74 days.
So the sperm involved in conception today are the product of what was happening in your partner's body roughly 2.5 months ago. Same 3-month window we discussed for eggs.
Exactly. Both partners have the same developmental window. Both partners' nutrition in the months before conception matters.
And sperm DNA is particularly vulnerable to oxidative damage, the cellular rust we've talked about throughout the season. The testicles are actually among the tissues most susceptible to oxidative stress in the entire body.
Which makes antioxidants especially critical for male fertility. Vitamin C, vitamin E, and zinc are the 3 most thoroughly researched.
Let's go through them. Zinc first. Zinc is found in higher concentrations in the testicles and prostate than anywhere else in the male body. It's directly involved in sperm production, sperm maturation, and testosterone synthesis.
The research on zinc and male fertility is striking. Studies have shown that supplementing zinc in men with low sperm counts can increase count from as few as 3 million sluggish cells to over 140 million highly active ones. That is not a marginal difference.
It really isn't. And a lack of manganese, another trace mineral often depleted from agricultural soils, can cause a complete absence of sperm production in experimental animals. These trace minerals are not optional.
Vitamin E, which we've discussed extensively in the context of women's fertility, is equally critical for men. It protects the essential fatty acids and sperm cell membranes from oxidative damage. Studies consistently show that when men increase vitamin E intake, sperm quality improves meaningfully, especially when combined with vitamin A.
Vitamin C is found in seminal fluid at concentrations dramatically higher than blood plasma because it's being actively concentrated there to protect sperm DNA from oxidative damage. Low vitamin C in the diet directly correlates with higher rates of sperm DNA fragmentation.
And folate, which most people associate exclusively with women's preconception health. Men need it too. Sperm DNA synthesis requires folate, and men with low folate have significantly higher rates of chromosomal abnormalities in their sperm.
That aligns with what I found. And B12. The research on B12 in male fertility is compelling. B12 deficiency damages the Sertoli cells that produce sperm. And clinical studies where infertile men with low counts were given B12 showed dramatic improvements in count and motility.
So the practical picture: if a partner isn't eating a nutritionally complete diet, quality protein, zinc-rich foods like red meat and eggs, adequate vitamin C from fresh produce, a quality B complex, their sperm quality is almost certainly below what it could be. Nutrition aside, a few lifestyle factors have outsized impact on sperm
quality. Smoking reduces count, motility, and increases DNA fragmentation across the board. The data on this is unambiguous.
Alcohol, moderate to heavy drinking reduces testosterone production, impairs zinc absorption, and increases oxidative damage to sperm. Heat. This one surprises people. Sperm production requires a scrotal temperature roughly 2 degrees below core temperature. That's why the anatomy is external. Regularly sitting with a laptop directly on the lap, frequent hot tub use, very tight underwear, all of these raise scrotal temperature and measurably reduce sperm counts. These are things most men have genuinely never considered. And stress. We covered its effects on female fertility last week, but cortisol has a parallel effect in men. Chronic stress is directly associated with lower testosterone and reduced sperm production. The
Genuinely good news in all of this: sperm fully renew every 3 months. A meaningful improvement in nutrition and lifestyle habits today produces meaningfully better sperm quality in approximately 12 weeks. The timeline is clear, and the window is actionable.
I want to acknowledge something before we close this episode. This conversation can feel sensitive. Fertility discussions center so heavily on women that introducing the partner's contribution can feel loaded. Right, the framing matters enormously. Let's both do this together for 3 months before we start trying is a completely different conversation than your nutrition might be the problem. Precisely, it's a shared project. And honestly, the nutritional improvements that support male fertility are simply good health habits. More protein, less alcohol, more vegetables, less processed food, a quality B complex. Most men feel noticeably better within weeks. The fertility benefit is an additional return on an investment that pays off in every area of health.
Next week, our season finale. 8 weeks of preconception science distilled into one comprehensive practical checklist. Everything we've covered,
Organized into what you actually do starting today. It's the episode I'd give to someone who's just starting their preconception journey and wants to know where to begin. Don't miss it. See you next week.
If today's episode was useful to you, the best thing you can do is share it with one person who needs to hear it. A friend who's trying to conceive, a woman who's newly pregnant, someone in your life who's been asking questions about nutrition and doesn't know where to start. One share makes a real difference. And if you want to go deeper between episodes, come find us on Facebook. Search Cellular Healing. It's our community for everything we talk about here. Real food, real nutrition, and building genuine health from the inside out. We'd love to see you there. Thank you for listening to Nourished and Ready. See you next week.